Okay, this is video 5. This is part 2 of the bird lady art piece. The first part was me sketching and inking, and since the video was very, very long, we ended up having to just kind of cut it in half and do half that video sooner, and then, you know, post the second half later on in the week. So here's that second half. I'm going in with some Copic markers. I've already erased all of the pencil lines and kind of cleaned up the art piece, so it's easier to see what I'm doing. So I had some issues with the whole coloring process with this piece. Typically, I would get very, very detailed with my work. You know, I do a lot of multimedia or mixed media pieces where it's, you know, not just marker. It'll be like marker and coloring pencils, or maybe I'll add a little bit of paint, or just other things into the art piece to kind of, you know, give it a better look, a better feel to it. So, my marker collection isn't very huge right now. Copic markers are fairly expensive, and I just discovered recently that I actually really like using Copics. They are actually a really good investment. These markers are alcohol-based markers, and they're refillable. So once your marker just starts feeling yucky, gliding it across the paper, and there's no more ink, you can buy the little various ink cartridges that fill up each marker. Each marker will have a number and a letter assigned to like the color group that it belongs in. And as long as you have that letter and number, you can always go and order or buy the color cartridges to refill these markers. And each color cartridge lasts a long time. I've never really had to put more than, you know, 40 drops of ink into my markers at any point in time. I try not to let my markers dry out too bad. So, you know, you just kind of, you can replace the ink, you can replace the nibs. So when the tips of your marker are getting, you know, too soft, or you're getting little pieces falling off of your nibs, it might be a good time to replace them. Or if you blend your markers a lot and you just don't really clean them off, sometimes the nibs will get discolored and kind of gross. So it would be a good idea, you know, to just kind of, you know, swipe them across a clean sheet of paper every so often if you are going to be blending your markers really aggressively. You don't need like the tip of a light marker being super dark, and then messing up the next art piece that you have. And I've done that before, and it's not fun. So here in this video, I kept bumping into my camera, and the lighting looked kind of off in certain frames. So I was constantly messing with the lights and my camera. And then at one point, my daughter came in and scared the heck out of me. So you might see the camera jump or flinch somewhere in here. And I've dropped markers on the floor, and then I've had markers nearly run out of ink on me while I was filling the page up with color. So I was having a lot of issues while I was coloring this piece in, and you know, sometimes you don't see all of those issues, you know, after things have been edited out, but you know, the process isn't always a smooth one, you know, when you're putting in the final details. I did improvise at one point because the marker that I was using for the background color was getting very, very dry, and I didn't have an ink cartridge to refill that marker since it was a brand new marker. I just bought it, and I guess the marker was dry in the pack that I bought it in. So that was kind of a bad way to start out the life of that marker. So now I have to go buy a refill tube for that particular color in order for me to be able to use again. So it happens, though. It doesn't happen often, but it can happen. So it's a little annoying, but there was that. So I improvised. I kind of brought in another marker, slightly different color, and I went in and just kind of went along the edges of the other marker, and then I brought in a few other markers that were similar colors, and you know, the result I got was really nice. It wasn't like a flat background, so that part was really good. And then the other thing is I have a few skin tone colors. I don't have a lot. Like I said, my marker collection isn't very huge, so I kind of had to pick and choose, you know, like which colors might go together, what I could blend, and so the good thing about these markers are they blend very well, and for the most part things are going to look okay. Once I can grow my marker collection out a little bit more and get all the colors that I need, things will be a little easier, but I've had to be really creative with what I'm working with. And like I said, I've had problems with the lighting, and then the camera, and then a couple of the markers, and dropping things on the floor while I'm working, and then the program I was using for my camera kind of was glitching out a little bit, and so a lot of different issues, but I think in the end the art piece turned out really nice. I didn't go too detailed like I normally do with a lot of my art pieces. Sometimes I can overwork some of my art pieces, so just for the sake of being able to have a nice piece and not have it so overly done and the video be so long, I just kind of had to hold back from everything I was doing. So the final thing on here is getting all of the white gel pen in the areas that I wanted to be a little shiny, and that is it for the art piece. So I'm not really sure what the following art piece is going to be. I will try to get all of my fantasy art pieces for the sketchbook done, so that project is kind of off of my list of to-dos for the year. But there will be more marker pieces, coloring pieces, inking, and maybe I might throw in like some large scale paintings. So we'll just kind of have to see where we go. And then if there's any comments. If you want to comment, leave me a comment. And don't forget to like and subscribe so I could put more videos out there for you guys. And that's it for now. So keep watching and we'll see you later. Bye.